Regular meeting of the Recreation and Parks Commission. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Linnea, are you going to do roll call?
I'll do roll call.
Okay. Please.
Commissioner Gant is absent. Commissioner Stolnak?
Present.
Commissioner Lubes?
Present.
Vice Chair Watson?
Present.
Chairperson Moda?
I am here, thank you. Presentations, we have two tonight.
Yes.
Employee Spotlight.
Yes.
Norma Nicholson at the library.
Yes, so Norma, if you'd like to come up, and Mark, come up. I will read a little bit about Miss Norma. Norma Nicholson is our employee spotlight for the month, and she's accompanied by our senior librarian, Mark Herbert. And I'm just going to read a little bit about Norma. Many people who frequent the streets of El Segundo will see and recognize Norma Nicholson out on her daily walks through the city. Norma is also well known by the El Segundo Public Library's patrons, having worked the morning shift at the Circ desk since October 31st, 2022. Moving from the Bay Area, where she retired from the Lucky Stores grocery chain, Norma became a fixture at the El Segundo Library, welcoming customers each morning and helping them with their checkouts and other library-related activities. Over the course of her time at the library, Norma has worked with 3 online library catalog systems, used the OCLC National Library Database for cataloging functions, and helped process tens of thousands of library materials. While not on duty at the library, Norma enjoys her tap class and playing bridge. Norma is very much a part of the El Segundo Public Library, and when away from work for a day or two, she is missed by the library's regular customers. And those of you who know Norma, just know that she's a ball of sunshine. She is just the brightest beacon in the library. Whenever you go in, she's welcoming, she's friendly, she asks how you're doing. She's just a really stellar example of excellent customer service. So I'm very pleased to announce her as our employee spotlight. And Norma, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Thank you. Yes, I feel very blessed to have lived here the past 20 years and been a part of the community. And I want to thank Mark for your leadership, Allie for your direction, and members of the commission. Thank you for your time, energy, and interest in making our city the best.
Mark, did you have anything you'd like to add?
I'd just like to add that Norma is a much-loved member of the community. She's a great part of our library, and we appreciate having her here with us.
Yay. Thank you, Norma.
Thank you.
Commissioners, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Go ahead.
I'm glad that Norma showed up to accept her award or whatever it is that we're calling it. And when I go to the library to check books out, it's always nice to see her there at the counter. And she's always friendly. She's always, welcoming to everybody. And I think it's great that you are still working and enjoying your job.
Yes.
And get to walk to work.
That's right.
Norma, thank you for what you do. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Norma. Thank you, Mark. Good to see you all.
And we have another presentation, the strategic planning update. Allie.
Yes, Honorable Chair and members of the Commission, I just wanted to provide a brief update on the strategic plan as it relates to Rec Park and Library. Hopefully most of you are familiar with the city's strategic plan. It is adopted every year. There are several strategic goals and priorities that are adopted by the City Council. And they usually do that at a meeting sometime during the spring. We have a workshop, we sit down together. I think you guys attend that as well. Staff attend, and we talk about really what's our work plan moving forward for the following year. So I just wanted to just give a brief status update on some of the goals that pertain to our department. I'm just going to start at the top. So one of the things we wanted to do is expand the availability of the rec brochure from online to print and online. From what I understand, it used to be mailed out to residents and then it went online. And then we started printing some copies, and I'm sort of transitioning us back to hopefully mailing it out again at some point, if not to all areas of the city, to maybe some strategic like Park Vista and some other, neighborhoods where we want to really make sure we're getting the information out. So we've started that transition. We printed 1,000 copies this last print, and we're going to continue to increase that. We've asked for additional funding for next year. The next item was increase Rec Park Library's social media presence. That's ongoing, but you guys are getting reports every month and seeing that our online engagement is increasing every month, and a large part of that is because of Jacqueline Paetzold. She's our marketing person. She's absolutely wonderful, and she does a great job with that. She also is assisted with creating a web page for the Rec Park renovation project where people can check in and get updates. We thought that was really important, so she took care of that for us. The next item, I actually just spoke with PD about this yesterday, increasing awareness of e-bike safety. So this really falls on PD as far as enforcement. However, I really feel like there's an opportunity for Rec and Parks to help with the education piece of that. So we are going to be sitting down and talking about what else can we do. As you all know, we have signs in the park that are somewhat helpful, but we want to look at other ways we can engage the kids, or how we can help with that. So that's ongoing. Also, we installed security cameras at Joslyn Center, the clubhouse, and the Hilltop Pool. We've got them at checkout. We've got them outside the teen center now. So we're rolling out security cameras at multiple locations so that when there are incidents, we're able to access footage, and that can help us with reporting to PD. Because we were having a lot of issues last summer. I think you guys remember that. The next item is implement the Plunge Capital Campaign. So I've been meeting regularly with Mr. Lundquist and Ms. Kramer from Continental Development. We're going to kick off that campaign very soon. We're going to have a large event. We're hoping at a local facility here that would be pretty exciting in June, May or June, and that's when we'll officially kick off the project. But we've been meeting about every other week on that. And then the next item, implement the annual community sponsorship campaign. We haven't pushed that out as much because we know we're going to be doing the Plunge campaign. But it's still something we have for our regular donors, Bill Ruane and some others in the community who typically like to give. So we will continue with that. The next item is increasing filming and other fees. We got several fees increased at a couple council meetings ago, so I think we're moving in a good direction with that, including a lot of the aquatics fees, as you all know. The next item is planning and hosting El Segundo events. That's obviously something we continue to do. You can switch the slide, Linnea. No? Oh, there we go. Okay. So these items implement the City Council Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. So I don't know if you all know that CCB has come under Rec Park Library also. So we now have 7 CCBs. We're working on making some revisions to the required number of folks for a quorum, because we're having a difficult time getting a quorum. But I continue to work with them. Adopting and implementing the Livability Action Plan. This is a goal that was started a few years ago. We haven't really done any work on it yet, not simply because we're short-staffed, or we're just, it's not something we can get to quite yet. I'm hoping we'll be able to do that in the next year or so. This is with the AARP and the Age Friendly City. So we've done a little bit of work, but we haven't gotten where we need to be with that. Implementing the capital improvement program, that's ongoing. Completing all of the projects in phase 1 of Recreation Park renovation. I'm going to give you guys an update on that later. And then implement technologies to enhance customer service. So we're continuing to do that as well. And I think there's one more slide. And these were items that weren't in the strategic goals, but we added them. The El Segundo Unified School District Joint Use Agreement, we completed that. It was a very challenging task, but I'm happy to say we got that done. Last night, the council voted to establish a youth advisory council. I don't think that's going to be in our shop simply because of staffing, but it is sort of tied to what we do. And then finally, implementing the fee for private instruction for folks using city parks and facilities. So we've done quite a bit in the last year, even though we've had some significant staffing challenges. So I just wanted to update you all on that, and I can answer any questions you have.
I have a question.
Yes.
So the brochure, extending that to print, does that give us more revenue opportunities from advertisers because now circulation will be expanded?
Well, yeah, so this is an interesting question because I just actually had Councilmember Perz text me today and was asking about whether or not we have advertisers, and currently we don't. But it is definitely something for us to look into moving forward.
We have in the past.
Yeah, and maybe we did,
I
but
know that clubs, had used that as advertising for summer camps and things, and it's particularly big in summer camp season.
Right.
To be selling ads for that. So
Yes.
I'm just thinking that, whenever you increase circulation, particularly in print, that does mean that fees can go up because advertisers do find that valuable.
Right.
In print and living in someone's house.
Exactly. So no, so that, like I said, that I didn't know that we did that, so it was very timely that Carol emailed me today and asked about that, so we'll definitely look into that moving ahead.
One question.
Yes.
I thought we already had a youth advisory council.
We have a
we have two now?
we have a teen advisory council that meets out at the teen center, I think monthly. And it's more of an informal group of youngsters who help plan teen activities and things of that nature. This was a request of Councilmember Giroux, and I think this would be more like in advising on city policy and things like that. That's my understanding. So it's just a little bit of a different focus.
And it's younger than teens? Advising
No.
the city? So it's still
I
teens?
did watch last night, the council meeting. It's going to be high school
Yes.
age, and it could be related to their student government stuff that they have going on right now.
Right.
So does the other one, they're gonna both continue?
They will both continue, yeah. There's no plans for the teen advisory committee to go away. Yeah.
Could they combine? Too late?
Well,
Okay.
anyone else? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Public communications related to commission business only. Julie, you coming up?
So I'm Julie Rochford. This is, as of next month, it will be the anniversary of me coming to you to ask permission for the pollinator garden in Library Park. It was March 10th, so I've made my anniversary. That's not such a good thing. The Women's Club has demonstrated that we will take care of the planting and the maintenance. If anyone walks through Library Park, look at the difference in the rose garden. And we really want to thank Rotary because this year, I usually do the cheap thing and get the bare root roses from Home Depot, but we got the good ones from International Garden because Rotary was so generous and gave the Women's Club money. So take a stroll and look at the rose garden. It's going to look just fabulous this year. And then think about what the pollinator garden could look like. All we are asking is for something in writing, written permission to plant a garden in the city park. And here's my, you don't have to, here's all my things. And there's pictures of the plants. We've already researched what plants to plant, and that's with consult with the South Coast Botanical Society. And the picture, it would just be beautiful, and it would be 80% natives. The big butterfly bushes at the very top of the fountain, which will be in the middle, those are the only non-natives. But it'll be very colorful, and it'd be right across the street from Richmond Street School, where the blue butterfly is their logo. but there's no blue butterflies, and this will help. So, no questions?
Okay, thank
Happy
you.
anniversary.
Ally, staff will
Yes.
talk with her.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, so we can't have a discussion on it
No,
because it's not
I don't want a
agendized.
discussion.
Yeah, but let me comment. So, I did send an email to Commissioner Stolnak today. As she mentioned, we would be in need of an agreement that needs to be drafted by the city attorney. I did meet with the city attorney in, I think, November, about this project and advised that we would like to move forward in some way. He is doing research. However, it just hasn't been completed. And as I mentioned to Julie, this is a significant project in that we have to develop the agreement. There's some liability issues that we need to address. So it's just a little bit of a project. And right now, Christopher and his team are very, very, very busy trying to get caught up with work. We have had a lot of staffing challenges. So what I asked is that we could have at least until later spring, maybe even the beginning of the summer, to really take this on, because I don't have the staff right now to take care of this. I feel we're down, we have 5 vacancies out of 20 full-time staff. So that's where we're at with the project.
Not allowed to have discussion, but is there, it sounds like the hurdle is the legal piece, not the staffing so much. So once we get the legal piece, then it can be turned over and then they can start working.
Right, but I
So-
need to have a staff member that can get that going and meet with the city attorney regularly and start writing the staff reports. It is a project. It is a project. And it's not that it's not something we don't want to do. It's just a matter of the workload that we have right now it's pretty challenging. And I wish it were as simple as just saying, come on over and build a garden. Unfortunately, we don't have that ability.
Okay, but staff is going to be working on this sometime.
Yeah, hopefully when we so we're hiring right now a manager, and then we're doing it, we're doing as, I promise, as quick as we can.
And somebody will get back to the women's club, or Julie.
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
I think Joseph is in pretty regular communication with you guys.
Okay,
Does it matter that there is precedence?
Precedence? No, no. So unfortunately, with this, it's actually caused some other questions to be raised that I'm trying to tiptoe around very carefully with the rose garden maintenance and the liability, and it's just a little bit more of an issue, I think, than I can tackle right this minute.
okay.
Remember when we did the memorial bench
Yes.
in the trees and Memorial War? It was 6 months or more because we had to redraft all these agreements because, yeah.
Okay. We'll move on. Any other public communication? Seeing none, we'll close public communications.
Okay.
And move to the consent calendar. Approval of the minutes of the Recreation and Parks Commission meeting of January 17th, 2024.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Oh, okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's 4-0. And moving right along, unfinished business, Recreation Park renovation, the LPA update, Ally.
Yes, so I just wanted to update the commission. We are in the final stages of bringing a proposal to the city council. The plan is for March 5th, for us to bring a proposal forward for a consulting firm to move forward on this project. So I wanted to just provide that update. March 5th is our goal to bring the proposal forward, and then that's when we'll sort of kick off the whole project, and we'll bring back to you all a timeline of next steps. We are going to do a couple of community outreach meetings, and, bring back the conceptual design just to revisit it. So as soon as we get that contract in place, we will be coming back to the commission. So I would imagine probably not the second meeting in March, probably the first meeting in April. And hopefully the consultant will be able to come to that meeting and introduce themselves.
Will we have a subcommittee meeting at the end of this month, the 29th?
Yes,
And will it be posted?
yes,
Okay.
will be posted.
So it would be the last Thursday, which is the 29th, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna put that onto my calendar. So it's posted as far as I'm concerned.
Yes,
But-
there you go. Yes, we are working on that. That is one of the significant vacancies we have right now. We don't have any administrative staff since Brandy's gone, so.
Yeah.
We're, Linnea and I are just treading water.
Okay, all right. So, we're gonna receive and file? That's what your report?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have a, move to we receive and
Motion to
file?
receive and file.
Second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 4-0.
Thank you.
All right. There is no new business. Reports of subcommittees, Aquatic Subcommittee,
We did not meet, we will meet next week.
Transportation Subcommittee.
We did not meet. Ally,
Yes.
where are we on broadening the committee? I think that's
Well, so I think what we probably need to do is bring a recommendation to the commission to an official staff report requesting that we expand that and who we want on that. So when you guys meet next, I think you should have Ryan put something together to bring to the commission.
I thought we did that at the last one of these meetings.
But was it a separate report? It should be an item you guys act on officially.
I thought we just had to so instruct you last time.
No, I think it needs to be, I need to get your guys' approval, and then I'll go to the council. Because they would have to approve the assigning of, public works staff. We think we want 2 from Public Works, and potentially someone from finance as well. So it would be like another official CCB.
So can we have that brought back to the next commission meeting?
Yes, if we can we need to have Ryan work on it.
Okay. And what does Ryan need to do specifically?
He needs to draft a staff, well, we can work with him.
Okay.
He needs to draft a staff report recommending that we that we formalize an official CCB for the Transportation Committee. How many members, who's going to be on it, what's going to be the objective, get you guys to approve it, and then take it to council.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be difficult, but.
Okay, Youth Sports Council, Dave, you were there.
Yeah, we had a good meeting.
You did.
I thought it went really well. There's some turnover of some presidents, so even though we've all been on the council for a long time, there's still we have to go over a lot of the same stuff, so everybody, remembers it. There's a lot of discussion about, now that Richmond is transitioning with regard to who's taking care of the field, and it's, gonna be on the calendar, some other things, but I thought it was a really good meeting. Do you have any other comments to add, since
Nope.
you were there?
I was there too, but, you
Alan,
nailed it.
Did I nail it?
I think you got
Yeah,
the
you nailed
major
it.
stuff. I mean, we're in a transition right now with ESUSD, obviously. We are also really taking a look at the policy. Linnea and I have been meeting with Rachel because there's some room in there for some discretion, and that's a little bit problematic because we're having more and more people that are coming and wanting to rent the fields or wanting to use the fields. And we just need to put some more clarity in there. We have I think 10 different lists or priorities, but even within those, we need to break those out a little bit more, because we have, competing interests for the field. And we've got some pretty big ones that are coming up, and, we're looking for tools that we can use to make those decisions objectively. And I'd be happy to answer any questions about any of the.
That joint use agreement, I'm having a tough time with that thing.
The joint use agreement.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And the nicest way to put it is, what were you guys thinking? I have, just talk about Richmond Street. If the city is going to staff it or rent it out or schedule it, that's the right word I'm looking for.
We're not. Richmond?
that's the only field, right, that the city is not scheduling?
Right.
That's the only,
And the
why?
high school, and the high school and the middle school.
We schedule Richmond and now Center,
Mhm.
but do not
Maintain
maintain
that.
either of them.
Right.
That is on the school district now.
Yeah, and they're gonna have some issues with that, maintaining it, and then we're scheduling it. There's gonna be problems there, and there already is. So,
But I think that's different than the priority list.
well,
Right.
that's,
We
it's
also
still
just
part of the,
recently
that's
did
still
that.
part of it. The
Right.
Priority lists, we got two different priority lists.
Yeah.
We got what we have in our field allocation policy, and the school district has their own.
Correct.
So, there's gonna be some pushback.
Yeah, it's gonna
Not
be,
some, there's gonna be a lot.
it's gonna be a big transition, for sure.
Well, there's extra pressure on the fields now because of renovating, the renovation schedule, and so as we do that, there's, now, I talked to one of the groups, who said that, because I said, look, what's happening with Raytheon? We got this space, we should be using this space, I keep seeing the Raytheon report, and there's not a lot of use on the space, and what I was told was that the lights are not, I thought it was always the field's fine. It's the lights apparently are not, they are insufficient to light the space correctly, and it may even be that it's just the bulbs that we're using. So I've asked them to reach out to you and give
Okay.
you more information, and I told them about Christopher, to get that information. But if we can't get the user groups to use the fields we have, that's also
problem.
a problem. They're all fighting over the same
They're all
funds
fighting over the
instead
same,
of,
right.
we've secured extra space, and we can keep securing extra space, but if they don't want to use the extra space, if they're all gonna still fight over.
Right, and we've been working with Raytheon. Rachel had a meeting with them this week, but it's a little problematic. And so we're probably gonna have to bring in the city attorney on that.
Oh, no.
So, so we're trying to do that. We're trying to move some of the use over to Raytheon. I actually have a call with, Chevron as well to see if there's, because could potentially use their space, for some practices we need more space. We need more green space. I mean, that's just the reality.
I just wanted to ask a question. When you
Yeah.
talked about other groups coming in and that there's going to be, we're going to be stretched.
Yes.
And I haven't really read specifics of the new joint use agreement, but is priority going to be given to El Segundo residents and our sports over, say, teams that want to come in and pay to play?
In our facilities or in their facilities?
In both.
So they have a field allocation policy that they are responsible for enforcing. It appears that El Segundo teams would have priority, but we are basically in a wait-and-see mode. So we just, approved it, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And basically that's what Councilmember Giroux is asking, is that we monitor it for the next 6 months and come back in the fall with a report. So we have encouraged all of the user groups, AYSO, et cetera, please request use of the high school fields if you want that, and then we're just going to have to see how it plays out.
Come back in 6 months. Is the joint use agreement, is it adjustable in 6 months?
Yes, it's adjustable.
It is
at any-
adjustable, okay.
At any time.
All right.
It's adjustable at any time. So we're gonna bring, I think they asked me to come back in September, with a
September,
report.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll move to the Recreation Parks Renovation Subcommittee. We did not
We
meet,
did not meet,
but we will meet on the 29th.
yes.
Okay, Director's Report. Ally?
Yes, well, you have my director's report. It's pretty straightforward. I didn't know if you guys had any questions. I wasn't able to get the teen center information in time, so I apologize for that. But I think all of the other information is in the report if you have any questions.
None. I see
Okay.
no questions. All right, Commissioner comments. Commissioner Lubes, Dave.
I have none.
Commissioner Stolnak, Julie.
Yes, I have a few. I have one that's, I don't know, kind of a request or a suggestion, to possibly eliminate potential issues. From time to time, I have seen a tent set up in Washington Park in the early mornings. And I know we don't have signs posted at our parks as far as hours of operation, so that the police can't enforce. You know, we should have signage so that it could be enforced, because you don't want a problem to happen like did over in Westchester at Westchester Park. But if we don't have proper signage up, then the police officers cannot enforce things of people living or camping in our parks. So that is one thing. And then on February 23rd, which is this Friday, the Blue Butterfly Conservancy Group is going to have their first planting along Imperial, just east of Hillcrest, I think between Hillcrest and Loma Vista. And it is going to be in conjunction with Chevron. And Chevron contributed about $2,000 to buy like 200 buckwheat plants. And they will be planting on Friday. And then March 23rd, the Rotary Club and Scouts will be joining them. I think Rotary contributed $2,500 towards purchasing additional buckwheat. And so it's going to be off to a good start of getting the buckwheat planted around town and moving those butterflies through our community. So these women that have put together this Blue Butterfly Conservancy have been very dedicated and working very hard. And it's going to, I think, start growing in the community and more awareness and things like that. So I'm glad to see that that is moving on and gaining some steam.
Can anyone attend that?
The one on Friday is for just Chevron employees. And then the one on March 23rd, right now that is Rotary and the Scouts. I don't know if they've opened it up yet. But I just wanted to let everybody know about that happening. Another thing that came up, I had a meeting last week at the library. There were some concerns that people were posting on Facebook regarding Candy Cane Lane and what took place this year, and people were very unhappy and complaining about things. So I got together with Ally and we had a meeting, and we had, I think, 12 residents that came. It was kind of a good representation of at least one or two people from each of the surrounding blocks that are affected. And I am affected in that area as well. And there was a lot of the same thing, talking about the traffic, talking about parking, talking about trash. And I think Ally took maybe 3 or 4 pages of notes. Yes. There was a lot being said, yes. And I asked people to come and give your concerns and your issues, but also come with suggestions. Don't just come and complain. And I think that Ally received a lot of good information, and I feel that the city is going to listen, because we don't want to eliminate that event. We want to make it better, yep. And I think it can be made better. And there were a lot of good suggestions put out there, and I feel that the city, there were 4 city employees there. Linnea was there as well, and I feel that everybody was listening. So I'm glad that we had good attendance, because a lot of times at meetings like that, you get 2 or 3 people that show up. You get 35 people that complain and 2 people show up. But we had a good representation. So thank you for having that meeting.
Thank you for suggesting it. It was a really good meeting. I'll just provide some follow-up. So we're going to look at adding additional trash cans, making sure they're plastic and not paper and going to tear down in the rain. We're likely going to ask the council to fund staff to work every single night, 2 staff, to go around the neighborhood and pick up the garbage, because what we're finding is that the garbage cans are either overflowing or people are just leaving their garbage in the walkway on the sidewalk, and the residents are having to pick it up. So hopefully we can have staff that go out and can help with all of that. I suggested we look at, working with a local parking lot and providing transportation over at least some of the busy nights, so that people can, just park and shuttle over. We're also looking at bringing the senior residents over from Park Vista. We've talked about maybe changing some of the hours of the event, and the street closures. So we got a lot of good feedback. I am having a call with Ms. Turnbull on Friday also. She reached back out and wants to meet as well. So, so gathering all the information, and then we'll put together a plan.
Okay.
Is there concern about cost? I mean, it's like, we could make it fantastic
Right.
with the right amount of money.
Right.
Is there unlimited funds for Jenny Gateway?
Yeah, so no, we don't have unlimited funds, so we are gonna have to ask for more. We do have some funding that we got last year for security mainly, the porta potties, but I mean, this is gonna be a significant increase if we're talking about having staff out there every night and doing some of these additional things. So it will ultimately be up to the council to decide whether or not they wanna fund it, right?
I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm just
Right,
saying that it's like,
right.
we're talking about this in a vacuum, kind of.
Yes, no, it would require funding, and the more responsibility that the city takes, the more, financial responsibility we're gonna take as well. Yeah, everything, so, there's just some different things I think we just have to keep working through. So, but it was a good meeting, very lively group.
Julie, anything else?
No, that's it for now.
Okay. Vice Chairperson Watson, Kelly,
No comments.
thank you. Only thing I have is, Ally, can you bring something back, regarding the pumps at the pumps at Stevenson Field?
Yeah, I will ask Elias to come and do
There
an
you go.
update,
You got- you're
because
getting my picture.
I got an email, I got a text today from Councilmember Drew asking the same about the pumps and what was going on with the pumps and what, so, I reached out to Elias and he got back to Lance directly, so I can ask Elias to come and provide an update.
That'll work.
They still have the temporary ones out there?
Yes.
So, I did talk to Christopher just before the meeting, and so, all right, if we can bring it back, and I heard something about FEMA or something
Yes.
last night. I think
Yes.
We're going way down the road, but
Well,
that's his job.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let Elias come back. All right.
If we can get those pumps replaced, it would be beautiful. It'd be good stuff.
Yes,
for the
but
field.
in what year?
Right.
Okay? Sorry, I'm getting really sarcastic
That's
tonight. I'm
It's good for us.
and.
Keeps us on our toes.
I do it in fun, but
Yeah.
I do mean it. All right, staff comments, Linnea.
Most of my items are in the director's report, but I did want to just bring a little attention to, we had the Tiny Tot Tea on Valentine's Day at the clubhouse. It was very adorable. It was Bluey themed, but Minnie Mouse was there. 100 tickets were sold, so it was sold out. Snowboard trip was this past weekend. We had 39 teens who went to Big Bear. The weather was beautiful, a little crowded, but heard wonderful things. And then this weekend is the Little League opening day and parade. So Saturday should be a lot of action
Yes.
in the park, and hopefully the bathrooms
will be
and
done.
snack bar will be done.
It will be open.
We have ordered porta potties, and
Thank
there will be
you.
food
I was-
trucks
I was
there,
just
just
gonna ask that
in
question.
No, it's
case.
supposed to be done tomorrow, but yes, we've ordered porta potties just in case. So we've got food trucks coming, we've got a backup plan, yes.
Excellent. Good
And-
work.
Yes.
All right. Christopher Henson, Park Superintendent, anything for us tonight?
Well, a couple of the updates have already been talked about, the blue butterfly planting out at Imperial. And then also, basically, the restrooms are done. They're open. Saw them today.
Yes.
So- And they're clean, so.
Good. See?
So, everything will be ready for opening day in the parade.
First, people were asking about the little solar shed that's
Everybody's been asking about that, yes. So this is a Public Works demo project,
Yeah, I saw our emergency coordinator out there.
Yeah.
today, So I think it has to do with all.
solar panels, something of that nature.
It should be gone this week too.
Yes, it was only gonna be out there for a few days, but it caused quite the uproar.
The amount of people who called
And
were
I'm,
in the parking lot.
and we are thinking, we
I have
just,
no idea.
I don't know. They asked, could we use a few feet of the parking lot? And we said, sure. So, this is funny.
Needed more work.
Uh-huh. We got a lot of calls. Oh, the other thing I wanted to update, since I don't know why there's not a director's comment, a second one, but we are working through budget requests for next year, and I met with the staff, with Linnea. Linnea did a fantastic job. We're asking for a lot of money to get things done. So,
So is one of those priorities additional money for field renovation? Because I've said this here before,
yes.
I've talked to every council member over the past 2 or 3 years individually, and every single one of them says, you just gotta request it, you just gotta
Yes.
request it, they're not requesting it, so.
Yes. So we're
So I wanna
requesting.
see what happens when you request it, and then I'll go back and say,
Yeah,
okay.
and we did request and receive money for laser grading the fields this year, but Christopher's had a really difficult time getting someone out to do it, or the price they gave was much higher. So we're asking for more money for that next year. We're asking for $20,000 to do some work on the hilltop restrooms. I mean, I basically told the staff, I want you to ask for what you need. We'll have an update on that at some point.
I'm gonna go back to Christopher.
Yes.
Any significant tree losses, with all the rain that we had in the last two weeks? That,
No,
Okay.
is the short answer. I think we had one broken limb that happened, landed on a car,
Yeah,
but unfortunately, but that's been the only issue.
right.
thank you. Did you want a second,
I don't need to say more things. Other than just please bear with us. I've never had to tell a community member that I can't do a project, but we are just absolutely swamped right now.
What's alarming about that is you've given it to the department that's supposed to do it, and so what you're short-staffed in is follow-up on whether or not another department's done their job. And that makes me crazy, because it should be a one and done. I've asked you to do something, it falls through, you give me the update when it's done. That's how it's supposed to work. Not, I need to dedicate a staff person to hound this other department. Like, but that's the same thing with all your open, we talked about this in the aquatics committee, and it's just like.
The open
do your
positions.
job.
The open positions are, yeah, so we are desperately trying to get folks, because it's a lot of work.
okay, and with that, we'll adjourn to the March 20, 2024 meeting.
Thank you.
That's right, yeah, March 20th.